Hi, welcome back. Today we are going to be going over plant stakes. And in particular, I have this variegated monstera that needs a new stake. Let me bring you in here and show you what it is that we're working with here. So this monstera currently has a stake that I had made, which is basically just probably a 3-foot wooden dowel with cording glued to it, spun around it, which is fine, but these things grow really fast, and in roughly 2 months it grew, roughly 2 feet. So we need a different style of stake. So this is the stake kit that I ordered on Amazon, and it's I think it's 70 pieces at 16 inches for 25 bucks. And I'll put a link in the description below for where I got this, as well as the plant Velcro tape and the type of soil that I like to use for these monsteras. Inside the kit here is 70 of these 16-inch long connectors and a bunch of these things, so you can slide them all together. And these are steel cores with this plastic coating on the outside. And there's a bunch of these other connectors which I've never actually used. So I first started using these probably about 4 months ago. You can see that this is all held up by them, as well as all of the other ones. Working on this one, let's take these Velcro straps off, holding it on. And I like using these. These are just reusable, basically Velcro straps. Take the old rod out. This might be easier to do with a second set of hands, but for now I'm just gonna kind of roughly get it in place. Well, it's currently standing, but due to the small pot that I have this sit in, it is kind of already leaning, and we will have to put some more dirt in there. One thing I like to use to kind of help support the stakes in these smaller pots is just a piece of wire. This is a solid core electrical wire left over from something or other, I'm not sure. And you can just take this and either wrap it around it or slide it through if it's not rigid mounted yet. And you just take these wires, bend them over the edge. And there we go. So these wires hold the rod pretty stable, so enough to support the plant. Now I can come back through here and re-tighten up some of these. just kind of rearrange themselves as it wants to follow the sun. But I think that's pretty good for this one. So I am going to top off the soil level on these just a little bit. So to stake these plants, I mean, you could pretty much use whatever you have. Like in this instance, this is just a 1/2-inch piece of dowel that has this twine wrapped around it and then glued. You know, they hold up well. The only problem with something like this is that as the plant grows, well, this doesn't, and you can't really add on to it. I've also used old tiki torches, like for this bird of paradise here. So in addition to like tiki torches or anything that's really a pole, I've used curtain rod ends, just jab them in there and, you know, tie them up. But you might be saying that, hey Chris, I've always thought moss poles are the best way to support climbing plants. And they are, with a caveat. Let me show you here. Here is a style of moss pole that's used on this Swiss cheese plant. And the problem with moss poles is, unless you keep them watered or moist, it's just an expensive stake at that point. So, and if we're gonna be honest, I don't maintain my plants well enough to keep a stake moist. So, yeah, that's why I don't use moss poles. But, yeah, if you're more attentive, yeah, moss poles are the way to go. And these are stackable too, but they do cost significantly more than 70 pieces at $25. So, it's really up to you. There we go. And then as these things grow, you can just take another coupler and slide it on another end and jam it on top and just let it keep going. So I've been using these for probably 4 or 5 months now, and I really like them. They're versatile, they're cheap, and they're sturdy. So if you have to support some plants, give them a shot. Till next time. Take care.